What's going on, everyone? Hit pause here with an update to the landscape material, dynamic material tutorial. In this video we're going to take that system that we've built and we're going to add the functionality of being able to paint another layer on top of it. So this is something that has been heavily requested and heavily asked of me, so here I am. I'm going to make this video. So first off, let's go ahead and open that level. This is a brand new 4.8 project. It's a third-person blueprint. Yeah, I got to have some errors here and there. It is a third-person blueprint with starter content, and all I did was dragged the content of the RAR file that I put up for download into this project's content folder and opened it up, and it needed to compile the shaders, and that was it. So I didn't notice any problems. If you guys are having problems, you shouldn't be. So let me know and hopefully we can solve that for you, because there have been people that couldn't figure out how to actually get this stuff loaded properly. So like I said, all I did was just drag it in and then open the project, and it was a brand new project. So your project may have something broken in it, so try a new project as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a look, and this was where we left the material last, okay? And what we want to do is we want to add the ability to paint on top of that. So what we want is we want to have something to actually paint on top of that, and I've already gone ahead and created this very simple function here with a color parameter and a, here actually let's say paint color. I won't set it to red, and roughness, and that's it. That's this function here. Okay, we called it red paint, but I'm actually going to call it paint. That was what I originally called it in my last video that dropped the audio. So I'm going to bring this up into here, and now I want to blend this by the landscape painting options, which are landscape layer blends. Okay, and you do need to add layers. So I want two layers here. I want a base layer, which is my dynamic. Actually, we'll call this dynamic base. Okay. And then we'll call this one our paint layer. Alright, and we'll just hook this up, but we can't. See how it says that we're looking for a float? Well, I don't actually believe that it's a float. I think it's more like an RGBA or something, because this actually requires us to break open the material attributes, because remember, this was all put together into a full material, so we need to break it open, and then you'll see here that we actually can hook it up now. So we need actually two of these. We need one for each of our materials that we're blending, because remember, this is a whole material, this is a whole material. Okay, so we need to break it open, and then we can take that there, and now we need to make so we can put it all back together with one output that will go nicely here. And this function that I have here has a roughness parameter being used. It's not using anything else, okay? It's just base color and roughness. So let's go ahead and do the roughness, which is here and here, and then we hook that up. Now metallic, we don't have anything in our paint layer, so we'll just go straight across. Okay, we'll just take specular straight across. I don't believe we use either, but just in case, we'll be safe. And the normal we want to take straight across, okay, because it doesn't have a normal map on there. It's just painting the basically, you know, the roughness. So that's all we need to do. Once we hit apply, when we come back, it's going to have to compile. So we'll wait for that, and I won't touch anything because I don't want it to be buggy. So what's going to happen is we can actually go ahead and select the terrain. You can see we've got the landscape here. Now if we go here to the paint layer, you can see that none of our layers have shown up, but that's because we haven't compiled yet. So once it compiles, you can see, boom, it shows up. Now you'll notice that the terrain went immediately black, and what's happening is that essentially we've told it that we're using layers, but we haven't actually put down a layer yet. So we need to do that, but before we can do that, what we need to do is we need to create layer infos, because you'll notice if I hit dynamic base here and I try to paint, it will actually say this layer has no info assigned, you must create or assign a layer info. So we hit this plus right here, and we create a weight blended layer, the normal way, okay, and I'm gonna stick it where the material is, which is right here. Okay, we hit OK. It's still compiling shaders now, and it's gonna do that for a little bit here as well, and I'll do one for this guy too. Okay, and now I can paint, and you can actually see that my material is in fact there, and it's still dynamic. Okay, it's still achieving the exact same results. Alright, so we need to paint this across the entire landscape, which is would be a pain in the ass, because you can see that my brush is as large as it looks like it can go. But we'll fix that in a second. I just want to wait for this compiling because it's really laggy otherwise. I mean, I'm not even holding right mouse and I'm still moving the camera around. That's how laggy I am. There we go. Okay. So it's going to take me a really long time to paint this out. So what you can actually do is, if you type like 80,000, it's going to tell you that the default's actually 65536. Okay, but that's actually a really large thing, and all you need to do is have the outline of the brush touch the component, and it'll paint it fully. So with almost four strokes here, I can get most of the whole thing, if not the whole thing, just by clicking. And it does, with that huge of a brush, it does take a long time. But there, as you can see, I have the entire original version back. It looks exactly like it did before. But now, if I bring this back down, and it's probably going to have to recompile because it hasn't applied this layer yet. Once it wants to, it needs to compile it. Okay, you can see that this is the component that's being affected right now, is being set, and it does want to compile the shaders. So we'll just wait here. Sorry for the wait. I can't do anything about it. Like I said, I can't pause the recording, and if I stop it, then I have to put it all back together. I have to recompile the whole thing back into a less, more compressed video, and then upload. Like, instead of me being finished and immediately uploading it like I'm going to, basically I would have to spend another good 3 to 4 hours or so just splicing 2 videos together, because I wanted to cut out a small piece of it, and you can see right there that there's the paint. Okay, and now I can paint anywhere that I want, just like normal painting. And again, the red paint can be any material that you want. It can be literally any material that you want. And that's it. And also, what's cool too is, because this material function had some parameters in there, they do show up here. So paint color, we can go ahead and make it blue. Okay. So now it's blue paint. And we can paint wherever we want. And we are happy and crazy. No, I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. Okay, so that's it. Let's just go and review. We had to break the material attributes, and then we just used a normal layer blend and put them back together. We have to duplicate this for every material attribute that we are going to pick up. So if we wanted to do normal maps as well, we would need to pick up the normal map from each one of these guys, like so, and feed that in instead. Okay, and that's it. And then it all comes out here. So if you have emissive or opacity or anything weird, on this, because remember, this doesn't have to necessarily be done for a landscape, right? In fact, this material can be applied to a static mesh. Really good. You can place a static mesh down with the same material and it'll kind of hide itself. Be camo like the Predator. Okay, so that's it, guys. Hopefully you saw how simple that was. Remember, layer blends, you do have to add your layers, blah blah blah. Don't forget you have to add your material info, and that you do have to paint the base layer down, but you can set the brush size to be 65,536 and not 8,192 like it would suggest, having you take forever to paint everything, you know, with not a huge brush. So there we go. It's been spackled with blue paint. This is HipAuth signing off. Thanks for watching.